Hey y'all, Martha here. I wanted to show you how I'm going to do a fairy. I'm not going to do it completely out of scrapbook paper, but I'm going to do it in cardstock and some scrapbook paper as embellishments. If you've watched my other videos, I have a series of my favorite art supplies, and then I am spotlighting each item. Today I'm spotlighting scrapbook paper and cardstock. So it's versatile and it's fun and it creates a lot of texture and pattern and just whimsy. You can make a background, you could use a whole piece, or you could make a collage, or if you will, a masterboard. You could make it by adding a focal image, adding a focal image, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. You can glue a paper shape to a tag or a page. You could use your cardstock for structure or journaling, a journaling card or a pocket. You can use it for making mixed media. That's what I'm going to do today. Okay. Let me see. I went ahead. Let me see what I did with it. I've got a mess going here, and I will show you what I already did. I don't know that we'll be working in my little journal that I started with, but I made this little collage or masterboard, if you will, on, this is watercolor paper. And I use mixed media, matte medium, not mixed media. I use matte medium in case I wanted to add some paint and stuff to it. So that's my background. I wanted a neutral color, kind of neutral. It does have some color, but they're all kind of in a yellowish gold like tint. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to do and what I already did. Okay, I drew this funny, whimsical fairy princess. And don't judge her. And you'll see there's glitter everywhere. You'll see that in a minute. But I put scrapbook paper in between and separated the elements. There might be an easier way to do it, but this is the way I wanted to do it today. So I drew out her dress. And I drew out her wings, and that's why the gold is everywhere. I went ahead and glued some glitter down. I didn't have any stickles this color, so I used what I had. And then there she is separately, so I can either paint her, cut her out, or whatever I want to do, and everything is to scale and to size. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way except for the dress. And what we're going to do, let me see what I do with my gloves. I like to do, when I'm using a lot of mixed media and scraps, I do love to use a glove with my matte medium. You can use glue stick or Mod Podge, but in this case I wanted to use mixed media so that it will dry nice and it will have a nice texture. And if I wanted to add paint or something, I think my glove's crooked, so I'm just going to put down. Oh, you know what I need to do before I do this so I can see where to cut? I look through here and just circle my dress so I don't have to collage the whole page, just part of it. And you know what? Instead of doing that, I need to just trace it. So I have the dress on the front and the back, and so this is the side that is the nicest. So I forgot, that's what I need to do, but I need to wipe that matte medium off so that it doesn't stick to my craft paper too badly. See y'all, I make plenty of mistakes, so you just keep going. I'm not perfection here, and sometimes it's so long in between when I do stuff that I forget. So anyway, I know I can collage on this side, and then I have this really neat one to cut out. And if it's not right, we'll make it work somehow. Doesn't have to be perfect. So anyway, I'm going to just use some of this pretty paper. You can use smaller pieces. You could use one whole piece if you wanted to. But I'm just kind of using different colors here, something that I think will look pretty. And I don't really like all that white showing, but we could cover that with paint later if we wanted to. Let's use some of this color and some of this color, and we really don't know what it's going to look like until we cut it out. I love doing this because you can get a lot of different looks and textures. You can coordinate your paper. You can use every color in the rainbow. You can do whatever you want. I usually just use what scraps I've got. And then let's use some of this, the other side of this scrap paper. And let's see, we have some of this. Let's go ahead and put some of that. And hopefully this will all blend together nicely. And we can add more than one layer if we want to. I like to use some of this green here. And let's go ahead, and I don't have my glove on very good, like I said. And I'm just layering it so I can get some more of these colors down. I like all these colors, and I like to have plenty of them in here. Okay, let's see, do we need, I think we might need a little piece right here. So where is that? This paper is really pretty. I'll put a piece of that there. Okay, we have the dress covered up. That black part is just, that's going to be cut out. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and I'll come back and I'll let you see the dress. We're not going to finish the fairy today because I'm going to use it, I think, to, I got some more things to highlight, like Posca pens, Pitt pens, and I don't even remember what all, but there is a list that I'll go through. But this will get me started. We may do some more in this little, I'm not sure, but we might do some more in this little book I made for the earlier videos. So, but right now we're doing this for another project, and I wanted all these pretty colors with a kind of neutral background, and you saw the gold wings wherever they are. So I think that will look nice all together, hopefully. And let's see. Okay, that's it for now. I'll be back in a few minutes when this dries. We'll cut it out. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, y'all, I'm back. It's not completely dry, but I think it'll be okay to cut out in a minute. But I love scrapbook paper. The colors, the textures, the themes. There's something for every project. You can, like I said before, you can mix and match. You can use all different colors and textures and patterns if you want to, and that's kind of what I did here. However, I chose colors I thought would look together, although none of them are really from the same scrapbook or paper pack. It's just scraps that I had. I use it in backgrounds. You can use one whole sheet. Like I might have said that before. You can do like a collage or a masterboard, if you will. You can cut out shapes like I'm going to do here. You could do it just straight on scrapbook paper, or in this case I'm using cardstock. That's why I love to use cardstock, because it's so easy like to draw on and cut out separate pieces to do different mixed media like paper or paint or whatever, and then just put it all back together. And you can just, like this one I drew, you could just do it all in one, you know, you could just draw it out and just do everything all this way. But I like to cut it up and do different pieces and then piece it back together, kind of like a puzzle. You can do layers. Let's see, I might have said that. You can make tags, glue book layouts, you can make pockets. The possibilities are endless. And let me give you some tips. Cut down your scraps into usable sizes. I don't usually do that. I just rip them when I'm ready to use them, but some things I do if they're too big. You could sort by color or season or style. A lot of people do that. I kind of do it, but not for really scraps. Look for paper pads on sale. I never pay full price for a scrapbook paper pad. You can't find cardstock on sale as much, but sometimes you do, like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Sometimes at Michael's you can get a pad for $5 or less. I like to mix the bold patterns together, but you could do neutrals. You could mix them up, neutral and bold. If you do the neutral, it doesn't get too busy. And like I said, don't toss your scraps. You can use them for layering or masterboards or whatever. Okay, now let's cut this out. We'll see what it looks like. So, and I think I glossed over this. I had used the carbon paper to trace it, and then I realized I needed to have it on the other side, so I just kind of held it up to the light and went around it with this pen. But you could use a light box. You could use you really don't have to do anything. I could have just filled up this circle, then turned it over and cut it out. So it's easy to figure out. But I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut it out and see. You'll get to see how it looks like, because I really don't know what it's going to look like. I have kind of an idea. I'm just going to rip this away. And then try not to get cut into the line too much, because I don't want my dress to be too little. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of going around, turning the paper, trying to follow that scallop. Okay, let's cut this little bit out. I think I got that too high, but that's okay. Now let's cut the neck out. This will be fun doing this over a series of videos. Okay, we've got it cut out. You could save that if you wanted to, but I probably won't. So here's what our dress looks like. Now, since it's been done with mixed media, we can add paint, we can add other elements, and I like that they got a little bit of glitter on there. So let's see what it kind of looks like. Of course, there'll be more done to both of them. But this is kind of what it's going to look like. They're kind of in the same mid-tone range, so we're going to have to make this stand out a little better, but it's a good start, I think. And don't just get discouraged. It will all come together in the end. Okay, did I have something else I wanted to tell you? One more little thing, I think. Okay, so now you see why I love scrapbook paper and cardstock. You can use all colors of cardstock. You could have made your dress like a solid red, a solid blue with cardstock, or you could have just cut out one piece of scrapbook paper, whatever you wanted to do. But there are endless creative possibilities with cardstock and scrapbook paper. So let me know how you use scrapbook paper and if you hoard it like I do. I don't hoard as much as some people, but some that's so pretty I have a hard time using it. But I eventually do. Okay, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next favorite supply. One I use, let's see. I don't even know what it is on the next on the list, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, come and see what the next thing on my list is, and we will finish working on our fairy princess. And I forgot to tell you, this is for a project for my monthly collab. Martha Makes Art. Check it out. You can join in too. There's usually a prompt every month, so that's what I'm making this for, but I'm doing it nice and slow so we can do it intuitively. I don't really do anything step by step because I don't seem to be capable. But anyway, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one real soon.